Good morning, students. In the series of lectures for BA Part 3rd, English Literature Paper 2nd, today we are going to take up a new poem entitled Stairs. Actually, it is written or it was composed by the poetess A. Jayaprabha in Telugu, and in Telugu it was entitled Chuplu, which means looks, and in some of the translators have translated stairs, which gives a proper sense. We will learn it about later on. As far as myself is concerned, myself Dr. Vijender Singh Tawar, Associate Professor in English. Presently, I have been posted at Government College, Guda. So, we are going to take up the poem Stairs, composed by A. Jayaprabha. A means Annie Pindi Jayaprabha. She is a young writer still alive. She was born in 1957 and she at Nagpur in Maharashtra, and she completed her study in Andhra Pradesh from Osmania University. So PhD in 1988, she was there. She is a feminist poetess and critics. Feminist, this is a name with which now you must have become acquainted with. It has become now a familiar term for you. As I have told you, feminism is a discourse, is an attitude to look at the things from other point of view. So far, or up to in the past few years ago, we used to look things from the male point of view. That is, we used to live in a patriarchal society where women were not given equal respect, regard, and after that some poetess and some male writers also, they came forward and they declared that women deserves equality, and then they started composing their works from that point of view and criticizing and exposing the exploitation in their works. And she is one of them, such critic or author. She tries to express what a woman thinks is right or wrong. To understand this poem, we must understand that there are certain attitudes in which we do not give equal rights to women. Even in the language, in the action, this is noticed, or it is visible to even a layman. For example, if we call a person dog, it is an insulting word, derogatory word. But if we call somebody a witch, it is more derogatory words, more insulting. And this is called feminism. Anyway, as far as this poem is concerned, we can say she has expressed what a woman thinks in a particular situation. As this poem is a feminist poet, she is regarded as one of the pioneers in the feminist movement in Telugu literary criticism. Her poetry shares the same concern as her criticism, and her work is marked by feminist attitudes. She portrays the problems that women face and also the inherent strength and courage that women display in every sphere of their lives. What kind of problems women face nowadays and how they tackle that, this is presented in her works, and the present poem is no exception to this rule. She has written her works in Telugu, As I have told you, she got her education in Andhra Pradesh. Her works have been translated into English by many well-known personalities, and some of her poems have been translated into English by India's former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. You can imagine what kind of poetess she is, or she enjoys a status in the Indian poets. Now about the poem which we are going to take up today. The poem entitled Stairs. Stairs means to look, somebody gazing, टकटकी लगाकर देखना, is one of the most talked about poems of A. Jayaprabha. It was originally written in Telugu. It has been translated from Telugu into English by B.V.L. Narayana Rao. In this poem, the poetess presents a real picture of Indian society. She describes the stairs and the people who stare at women. The attitude of menfolk is same everywhere. There is no difference between the attitude of lower strata of society or higher strata of society. No place is safe for women. The poem moves from a moment of recognition when a threat is clearly perceived through awareness and fear to a point of courageous action. Means the speaker is motivated to take a courageous action. And the hope of revenge, not immediately, but maybe someday. She is also hoping that some day will come when women will do what the male are doing today. Now let us come to the poem. As I have told you, this is a translated version, not the original. Needle sharp stares from two eyes land on these lumps of flesh and roam freely about. Lumps of flesh means human body, that is female body. That male or menfolk, they try to concentrate on the female body and they look or they gaze in such a way that one can notice lust in their eyes. That is why the poetess says these gazes are as painful as needle sharp. Sharp needle gives you pain when they touch you. They do not concentrate at one part of the body. They try to do the X-ray of the whole body. And they roam from one part to other part. Means they try to gaze female parts of the female body freely. Liar stares that do not dare. The poetess calls them liars as they tell lies. They do not have the courage. Look into the eyes of the poetess, but crawl like larvae on my body. Larvae, as you know, insects that have been hatched but are not fully developed. So just as larva spreads everywhere, in the same way, these people spread everywhere. They do not have the courage. They are not the fully developed citizen or human beings. They are compared, they have been called insects. They have been compared to insect. This is a derogatory term used for male human beings who do such type of activities. Eyes rich and poor, young and old stare at women alike. This is a fact that menfolk are men. If they are rich or poor, young or old, it doesn't make any difference. All of them have the same kind of attitude as far as women are concerned. The poetess says, signaling the hunger of a drooling dog. Drooling dog, letting saliva flow from the mouth. लार टपकने वाले कुत्ते की तरह लार टपकाते रहते हैं किस पर? ह्यूमन या फीमेल बॉडी पर. They keep on giving their saliva out. That is, they are greedy, they are lustful. Not like exact, but the sense is they are full of lust. Havas ke pujari. Like the drooling dog. The ugly grab of a wolf. These are the means male or menfolk have been called wolf, dog. These are derogatory words. The poetess have no respect for such people in her heart. That is why she is using such derogatory words. They haunt my dreams. They are not limited up to the daytime or when she is awake, but even in her dream, they appear that some male folk are gazing at her body. In the dense jungle, I cannot tell light from darkness. Suppose there is a jungle or forest which is very thickly filled with trees. You cannot see even a ray of light. In the same way, the poetess finds herself in such a jungle where there are many trees, where no rays of hope, no rays of sun comes there. What is the meaning? Meaning is she does not find any way to save her body, to protect her body from these male gaze. There is no escape from these stairs. She does not find any solution, escape. Wherever she goes, she finds such people gazing her body. For example, on the road, in the bus, in the classroom, they chase my step, snapping here and there. Means she is not free. She may go anywhere. She may be walking just on the road. She may be traveling in a bus. She may be learning or studying in the classroom. These eyes of lustful male folk are always chasing her. And they appear as if they are biting her, snapping here and there. These poison fangs knife me. Fangs again is poisonous teeth of the snake from where it inject poison. She compares the gaze or stares of men folk who look at the female body with the fangs or teeth of a poisonous snake, and they are always cutting the female body. The poetess is so much perturbed by their action. They have made so much of impression or bad impression, we can say, on the mind of the poetess that I feel scared. She is horrified. She is afraid of them. I wish I could fly or vanish into the void. Void means empty space. She wishes, would that she were a bird and she would have flown into the empty space where nobody would have looked at her body. But now she thinks again over the whole situation, and she realizes that why should she fly away? Why she should run away? She has not done any kind of crime. So what realization has taken place? But the earth is mine too. She realizes that this earth on which human beings live is also her, belongs to her also. I have taught my eyes to stare back. So she has now learned how to answer or respond to such gazing, that she would stare back to the person who will stare at her. equally sharp, with equally sharp eyes, with the same kind of intensity. Stair for stairs, that is how I wage my war now. Now she has learnt a lesson that if somebody gaze at her body, then she should respond equally and gaze that person's body. And she should fight this war in this way. When she has decided to give tit for tat, that is stare for stares, those cowardly stares that cannot look me in the eye, flee to the underworld. As soon as she decides to look into the eyes of the menfolk who dares to gaze at her, they run away. They do not have the courage to look into the eyes of the poetess. How long for the day when not only eyes but the whole body of a woman bristles. She wishes that a day will come when not only from her eyes but the whole of the female body will react angrily to such kind of behavior which is faced by women at public places or in private places. The idea is she hopes that a time will come when women will rule. They will not be afraid of male, but male will be afraid of them. And on that day, there will be equality between male and female as the poetess thinks. Thank you very much. As far as this poem is concerned, this gives a message which is of so much importance nowadays when we talk of women's empowerment. This poem becomes very important. Thank you.